Last night I asked you where Doc was, and you said he had some back problems?
Yes, he's on the mend, though.
Did you talk to him today?
No, but I have my sources.
Anyway, they announced the TV fall season coming up. Isn't that exciting? I'm looking forward to one new show. Al Dunte, Alpha Beta Bag Boy, is coming on in the fall. And in the opener, I saw the pilot. In the opener, Al asked the critical question, paper or plastic? Okay. I don't know what this means, but they had the lottery drawing today. And today's winning lottery numbers were also Playmate Paula Parkinson's measurements. You know who Paula Parkinson is? You don't? She is the former lobbyist who says that in 1980, and I guess at a golf outing in Florida, that the man running for vice president, Dan Quayle, propositioned her. Now, that's what she said. And according to Paula, she turned him down. And we found out why. I think he didn't have the best line. He said, Paula, I didn't want to tell you this, but tomorrow I'm shipping out to Indiana with a guard. You know, I could end up in Muncie. Remember those lines? They didn't work. I'm leaving overseas tomorrow. Sure you are. Well, the mudslinging is politics is a rough game. First charge that was the Quayle spent this golf weekend. New charge this week. Democrats charged that Lloyd Benson spent a mahjong weekend with B. Arthur. You know, this is such a good topic. I have an 800 number, and I'll be doing jokes over the phone this weekend if you'd like to call. Or you can order jokes by mail.
Yeah.
We'll send you one joke, you examine it without any obligation, and if you like it, then one joke will follow about every 6 weeks. Now, getting back to this Quayle thing, actually, Dan, apparently, we found out, never said anything to Paula Parkinson. He called his dad and asked him to use his influence on her, but I don't know about that. But anyway, let's see. Actually, they're trying to get Quayle out of the public eye till this thing, you know, really calms down. And so this week he's going to be rooming with Elvis. Do you know what they're doing now? They are checking back. The reporters are checking back on every politician who is in that age bracket as to where they were during the Vietnam War. And they've come up with some goods on, remember the candidate Richard Gephardt?
Yeah.
He said today to avoid combat in Vietnam, he joined the Bob Hope Tour under the name Joy Heatherton. The press is digging all. They found out that Reagan used influence to keep him out of Gettysburg. Here's my favorite news item of the day. Jessica Hahn. Do you remember Jessica Hahn?
Yeah.
Who had the little dalliance with Minister Jim Baker, has just been hired by a Phoenix radio station to host her own show. Now, there is a brilliant girl. She spends $100,000 to have her whole body redone, then goes on radio. I think Jessica was anxious to get her name in the news. She was about to lose her title as Queen of the Bimbos to Paula Parkinson. So, by the way, Mike Tyson has asked me to announce that he'll be defending his heavyweight title at 4:30 this morning at the C&R Clothiers on the corner of Slauson and La Brea. Go figure that story out. Do you know that story? Have you seen it? Night before last, Mike Tyson got in an altercation with a fighter by the name of Mitch Green, whom I guess he beat up a couple of years ago in a fight. And they ran into each other, according to the news item, outside of Dapper Dan's Clothiers in Harlem at 4:30 in the morning, where Mike had gone to pick up a jacket. Well, how'd you like to go home with that excuse? Why didn't he go to the old honey, aliens picked me up and put me on a spaceship? That would go better. Mike explained today what he was doing there at 4:30. Apparently, he had just come from his dentist. And was killing a little time until his piano lesson. I don't understand that at all. Did I tell you yesterday that the phone company is cutting off direct dialing phone service to Iran?
Yeah.
I know it's going to ruin my weekend, so this is... I think they're going to do it Monday, so this weekend is your last chance to call the Ayatollah direct and ask him if he has Prince Albert in a can. Anyway, good night. Okay, tonight we got a great show. Crazy Man, Jonathan Winters, is here tonight. Lovely actress Brooke Adams is with us, and Karen, and two twin sisters, Karen and Sarah Josephson, who are synchronized swimmers. Have you seen synchronized swimming? Yeah, they're going to go to the Olympics, I guess.
Yes.
In Seoul?
0.1% behind the Canadians, but very close and getting closer.
Thank you, Esther Williams. They are going to have the Olympics in Seoul, right, in a couple of weeks. That'll be the first parade in Korea they've had in 20 years that they haven't turned the water cannons on. What? 1/10 of one?
They're just so close, Johnny, it's hard to tell these girls from those girls. But we'll try.
Sounds all right to me. How did you happen to know this?
I'm an aficionado of synchronized swimming.
I didn't know that.
Now you know that.
That's right. You did it with Gertrude Ederle, didn't you, when she swam the channel?
Just
What? Just once. Big deal. Okay, anyway, we're going to come back, so stay where you are. Thank you. Good night. Johnny Winters, Brooke Adams, Karen, and Sarah Josephson. Synchronized swimming didn't become an Olympic event until recently, did it?
That's right.
Now, you would know that, too.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it wasn't in the 80 Olympics, I don't think.
1780, 1880?
No. But now it is an Olympic event.
You betcha.
Have you seen that before?
No, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's amazing. All right. We're going to talk about phobias tonight. Do you have phobia? I know.
Acrophobia, yes.
You have acrophobia. You know how I know that? You've told me before, but it's also in a little book. There's a book put out by a gentleman by the name of Ed Lucaire called Phobophobia, which is the fear of fear itself. There is such a thing. People who are fearful of fear have phobophobia. He lists 359 other phobias and manias. What would you call a phobia? Would it be an unnatural fear of something? Or,
Yeah.
So that would be the correct identification? You say yes.
Yes.
And your name was in the book.
I'm in the book.
It says persons with phobias. And down here I see Ed McMahon, and you have acrophobia,
Right.
which is a fear of heights.
Right.
And yet you were a flyer.
Right.
Now, how do you explain that?
Because I had a safety belt on.
No, but people don't understand that.
Yeah,
How
I
you
know.
can fly an airplane. I remember when we went to the Kennedy Space Center once.
I couldn't walk across
and
that
we went up
platform.
about a 13-story building which housed the rocket, and you didn't want to walk across the catwalk.
That's great. I couldn't do it.
And yet you can sit in an airplane.
Sure.
And that doesn't bother you.
No.
All right. Do you scream a lot when you're flying? Alexander the Great had a fear of cats.
What's that called?
What?
What's that called?
I don't know. I don't have that. I'll find out in a moment. Napoleon Bonaparte had a fear of cats. Let's see. Betty Grable used to have a fear of crowds. Alfred Hitchcock, you know what his phobia was? He had a fear of policemen. Ed McMahon Heights. Bob Newhart has a fear of flying. Would you like to hear some of these phobias?
Oh, would we?
All right. It's called would we phobia. Do you know what? Now, I may not pronounce these. Some of them are a little difficult to pronounce, but I'm going to try it. Arachabutrophobia.
Wow.
That is a legitimate medical Arachabutrophobia is the fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth. People think and they won't be able to get it out. Anybody have that at all? The man up there going, I'll give you a few here. Amchopophobia is a fear of being scratched. Anutophobia, a fear of remaining single.
Did you have that?
Yeah, I must have several times. Yeah. I got to kick that habit, too. Carnophobia is the fear of meat. What are you laughing at?
That's funny.
I'm not making this up. Carnophobia is a fear of meat. Unfortunately, if you have that, you can still work at McDonald's. Just joking. Just joking.
Just a joke. Just a joke.
Just joking. They use a lot of meat in their hamburgers. Remember when they were going to sue me once?
Yeah, right.
Dermatophobia is a fear of skin. Dipsophobia is a fear of drinking. Obviously, you have not been ever afflicted with that. There's a fear of beards. Fear of beards. Pogonophobia. Fear of beards. I don't understand that. What do you think papaphobia is? Now, this is what he says in his book. Papaphobia. Fear of the Pope. No, they say papaphobia. It's not P-O, it's pop. They call him in Italian papa, right?
Yeah.
They don't go popo. All right, we checked those. He's covered a lot of them in here. We have our own research department. We went out to see if we could find some phobias that would match these. I told you about Arachabutrophobia. That's the fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth. How many people have a fear of sharks? A less common disorder is needle-in-the-fin-ophobia. That's the fear sharks have of swimming near a New York beach. Here's a new one that's just come out. Quailophobia. Is a fear that the press will find out you were in the Viet Cong National Guard. Yuppie-phobia is a fear of strangling yourself with the sleeves of your sweater. Let me know. A lot of people have a fear of dentists, not unwarranted. There's also dentist officeophobia, which is a fear of discovering the topless native woman in National Geographic is your wife. Empty frigidarophobia is the fear of having Maureen Reagan as your house guest. Can't help it. Friar tuckophobia is that a fear that a band of merry men will move into your building. Did you know there's such a thing called, I guess this was just probably in the last few years, Vanna Mannersophobia is a fear that you'll burst into uncontrollable laughter at a Wheel of Fortune taping the first time anyone says, "I'll take a pee." The home shopping networkophobia is the fear of turning into zircon. That was marginal. Flop, 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 slamophobia is the fear that your daughter will elope with a guy wearing clown shoes. Here's a new one. Gotta be new. Bonophobia. It's the motorist's fear of being pulled over by a Palm Springs cop who says, "I got you, babe." Here's one we suffer from in California. Freewayophobia. It's the fear that those two new people in your carpool are Jehovah's Witnesses. And London fog VCRophobia. That's a fear that a man in a raincoat will approach you and flash 12 o'clock. Should have finished with the other one. I sit and I go through this, you see, and I say, which one should I finish
That'd be a good closer.
Didn't finish with the I'll take a pee. I have to finish with the VCR, flash 12 o'clock. Now I have no finish for this at all. Except to place this over here and then put it like the guys at the news desk do. And that's the comedy material from Comedy Central tonight. Are we off yet? Okay.
We'll be back in a minute.
Oh, no, I have a... What is it, Fred? Another golf tournament? Fred's just invited to another golf tournament, the Iran Open. Fred will be there, too. War's over. I can go now. Yes, this is it. There's a new sponsor, right?
Yes.
So we have to treat them with the dignity that they deserve.
Right.
Now let's welcome... Folks, this is it. This is where the money comes from.
Boston.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
I thought it was Bausch.
Bouch? But say Bouch if you want.
I thought it was.
You're the star. You can say anything you want.
You're fired. Let's welcome Renew Disinfection Solution from Bausch and Lomb. Bausch, that's why I asked him. I said, it's Bausch and Lomb, isn't it?
Fine. Just the way you did it, sir.
Oh. Back that up, because I want to give him a good shot at this. That's right. Let's welcome Renew Disinfections.
Disinfecting.
What?
Disinfecting.
Thank you.
Yes.
The whole idea is if you have contact lenses, you use this stuff, and it makes it much easier. You put it as a contact solution. It's a very nice product, and if I wore contacts, this is what I would use. Now we're back. Now. Okay. My first guest, as I mentioned, will represent the United States in this year's Olympics in the sport of synchronized swimming. And they are in the middle of an intense rivalry with the Canadian team. And they're just like 1/10% apart, which I just found out from our swimming expert, Mr. de Cordova. Would you welcome Karen and Sarah Josephson? I have no idea who's who. Are you Karen?
Yeah.
How did I know
No,
that?
we might have fooled you.
Karen and Sarah, you really are identical twins.
Mm-hmm.
Which one was born actually first?
I was.
Yeah.
Few
And
minutes.
how much later did you?
6 minutes.
Yeah.
Long time.
Are you getting excited about going over to Seoul?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting close now.
Now, I was kind of kidding about your sport because when is the first year that went into the Olympics?
84 was the first
In
year.
84, the first time? Because a lot of people kind of looked at it as,
Yeah.
well, not a sport and say kind of, did you get that reaction? Kind of, it's
Yeah.
kind of silly and so forth?
In 84, we felt a lot of the emphasis was on the gelatin we put in our hair and the nose clips and the underwater speakers.
I thought everybody had a bad nose when I first saw it. I said, those girls have had a bad nose job. They had these little pictures, but that's to keep the water
Keep
from...
water if you're upside down for 45
Yeah.
seconds at a time.
So anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh, but the emphasis wasn't really on the athletic and technical aspects of our
Yeah.
sport. So, and plus, when we're performing, you're trying to get a smile to that last person in the last row of the audience, and when the TV does a close-up, they see this huge grin.
Yeah.
which
So-
doesn't
so-
look real natural.
So, in other words, the judges base this on not only the technical merit of what you do, but your attitude while you're doing it. And if,
Yeah, your artistic impression.
yeah.
And how involved you get the audience in it, too. So
Yeah, because you seem to be smiling a good portion of the time. Are you having fun when you're doing it, or is that a little forced?
No, it's fun.
Because, you know, it looks to me like organized drowning. But you see right away I'm picking on your sport.
Yeah. It's pretty hard, though. You know, our
Yeah.
4-minute routine, we're underwater for about 2.5 minutes of it.
Yeah.
So
And they
it's not-
shoot it now beautifully from
Yeah, above and below
underneath,
water.
yeah.
so you can see
Why
what's
did you
behind.
decide to go into synchronized swimming?
We just kind of happened into it. Our older sister was doing it, and I think the coach thought, oh, twins, they'd be great for synchronized swimming.
Yeah. How many hours a day now do you have to spend in the water?
We spend about 6 or 7 hours in the water.
Wow.
2 practices, though, not all at once.
Two different practices.
Yeah.
How do you know exactly to do things? Are you watching each other? Is it on a count that you do these moves?
Yeah, every move is set to a specific count, so we know exactly what we're doing.
And you just kind of count it off?
Yeah, the music is all counted out. But then I'm always aware of where she is. Just like
Yeah.
in figure skating, we're always aware of your partner.
All right, we're going to come back then. You're going to show us a little bit on dry land, right?
Uh-huh, that's right.
Okay, we'll be right back. Stay where you are. All right, we're back here at Comedy Central. You can let your sister talk. We're talking with Karen and Sarah Joseph. And you said you're going to let Sarah talk a little
Yeah.
bit, huh?
Just a little.
Occasionally,
Did
she
it occur
lets
to you, is there any advantage in synchronized swimming? Being twins, that you kind of think together? They've done studies on twins, that even twins that have been separated for many years and find out that they almost think together, have the same work patterns?
I think we think the same a lot just because we've spent so much time together.
Yeah.
There's a definite advantage in that we're the same size, and in this sport, you're trying to be matched all the time and
Yeah.
synchronized. So when we're the exact same size, it's a lot easier for us to get matched.
Do you have time for, now you have a rigorous training schedule, you know. Do
Yeah.
you have time for boyfriends?
Not a lot.
Yeah?
Not too much time, but after the Olympics, we'll be looking at the Olympics and all those athletes there.
That's right.
All those cute men.
It's the international gathering of hunks, isn't it? Yeah.
You got to get a gold medal and a husband.
Yeah. Good. A lot of swimmers, once they compete in the Olympics, don't really swim much after it's over. You know, they just almost kind of retire from swimming, I guess because of the training. You plan,
Yeah.
once you go to the Olympics, win, lose, or draw, would you keep it up?
No.
No, we're done. I
Enough
think
is
after,
enough.
after 18 years of spending every
Yeah.
day in the pool, we're done.
Okay,
after this.
now, what you're going to do for us, I understand, you're going to show us some of the moves that you practiced. You do this on, I guess, dry land first and then go into the water. Okay, I'm going to move over here.
Okay.
You gals just stand up there and...
Ready?
Interesting. That's really, you make it You make it look so easy that most of us have no idea of the hours and hours and timing that is put into that. That's
Part of
quite
what we do is we work hard to make it look easy.
Yeah.
It's sort of a controlled agony out there with a smile on your face.
It's really beautiful. Well, anyway, I thank you, ladies. I hope we all wish you the best of luck and soul for the United States, and
Thank you.
and we'll keep in track and see how you do. Okay?
Great.
Thank you.
Great.
Thanks, Gary.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah. Good luck, Sarah. Good luck. Okay. We should be able to. We've been working together for 30 years. We ought to be able to do that. Where am I? Johnny Winters will be out here in a moment. We'll do some synchronized. Hi there. I shouldn't make fun of the ladies. That's beautiful. I've known Johnny Winters for about 30 years. I'm not sure I understand him at all, and I don't want to understand him. He's crazy. And he's in a new movie called Moon Over Parador, which will be released on September the 9th. Would you welcome Jonathan Winters?
I have something here on me. I'll get to it.
Yes.
It's in one of the right or left pocket. Always little surprises. Everybody out of the pool. Let the young people stay.
Did you take swimming as a youngster?
I had no alternative.
Yeah.
The tough guys on the farm used to drag me through the creek. Well, yeah, it was really bad taste, and for mile after mile, and boy. So, on the third day, of course, I learned to swim. A lot of frogs, and kelp and stuff. Not kelp really, because we're in creeks, but kelp is seaweed. I'm rather quick on that. That's another time they trolled with me.
But I can tell you
Ocean.
something tonight that you don't know how I know. You got your hair cut yesterday, didn't you?
How'd you know that?
Eleanor cut it, didn't she?
It's frightening. Yeah. Yes, she did. I gave her...
Is that true?
Well, it certainly is.
Now,
Do you
did
go to Eleanor, too?
No.
Why not?
Well, you probably want to know
There you
how...
go, Eleanor.
You probably want to know how I know that, don't you?
Yeah.
It's a small town out here. You had your hair cut yesterday, and Eleanor cut it, and it was in Toluca Lake.
Yes,
Not
that's
in the
true.
lake, I mean in the barbershop.
Eleanor's a very sweet lady, and
Because
she...
my brother goes there. And I
Is your
talked to
brother
my
go there?
brother today, and Dick told me Johnny was in there getting his hair cut. So
Yeah,
it all gets out. You
I
can't
felt,
hide out this
well,
time.
when you're going to do a network show, and it was getting a little, I don't have a lot, as you can see, gang. I imagine there are a lot of people out there with thick hair going, look, he has a semblance of hair. But it's not a rug yet. Come on, gang, not a rug.
You're not going to lose your hair.
I don't think so.
No.
You're not going to lose yours.
Oh, no.
When you make your kind of money, you don't lose your hair. Ed said it.
That's right.
You're the star. Stars can't afford to lose the hair.
Yeah.
And,
You mentioned going swimming as a kid.
yes.
You mentioned-
in the creek.
I didn't know that you were an animal fancier. I thought I knew you pretty well. Somebody says you have pets, you have chickens?
Mm-hmm.
Now, come
Chickens?
on.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you don't live on a ranch. How do you...
I have a 2-acre ranch.
I didn't know that.
And
Well, that's not a big ranch, 2 acres.
it is to me, Johnny.
Well, no. Well, I suppose if you don't have money, that's a
Well,
big
when
ranch.
you think of the
Yeah.
homeless, I mean, they're just lying down, someplace in the street. And we have 2 acres to lie down in, which is important. But I do have chickens.
But you keep them for the eggs, or...
Yeah, I keep them for the eggs. I don't... It's just kind of strange thing. I like the chickens. It's something to visit, And my wife and I have been married for 40 incredible years, and I'm extremely happy. I'm completely programmed. Taken 40 years, to finally... Yes. So, after I've left her in the kitchen,
Sure.
then I go out to the other acre, and... the chickens are there, and of course I had this is in Montecito, just south of Santa Barbara, for people who are going through their map.
How many chickens you have?
I've got, now, some have passed on.
Oh, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
gone to. Well, yeah, they go to chicken heaven like anybody else, or the other area. Become red chicken.
When they pass away, do you then eat them?
No, bury them.
Oh, I see.
I don't like to eat a dead chicken. Not that I like, live chicken or something else, but I.
What are you, a geek or something?
Well, no. Hey, listen, you can have fun with Diet Pepsi, Yeah. Here, eat that rascal. What I've had to do because of the neighborhood, which is a good neighborhood. We're not the wealthiest people in town, but some of the neighbors complained about roosters. Now, one is usually ample. What farm knowledge I have, what's left over. Usually the rooster services as many as 25 or 30 hens. It can. Oh, yeah. Wow. A lot of roosters do just what you do. Go, ooh,
It's Tuesday.
Yeah, that's right. But,
it's Tuesday.
You'd be surprised. A good-sized rooster can do the job, in a day or two. And
how many eggs do you harvest eggs or you just pick them up?
I just pick them up.
Pick them up.
Not while they're on them.
No.
Because then you get. But what we had to do, because a lot of the neighbors were complaining, we took little rubber bands, and so at 4:30, rather than you hear.
Well, doesn't that make them angry?
Well, I really don't talk to them, at length. I've had other problems, but when I start talking to chickens and worrying about
it's time for
rubber bands around their beaks, I'm going to be in deep trouble.
What other livestock?
Now, another thing we've done, we don't have a lot of livestock. We have a stuffed pony. Kids are a little old now to ride the pony, but I like to reminisce. And
stuffed pony.
A lot of people have shot at it, and it's just full of holes, but it's out there, And then we have some cats that we've scotch taped on the tree. You've seen. Now you've seen the little cats. I guess they're cats, and some tigers, tiger cats, little kitties.
Yeah.
In the car. You the little plastic things on there.
You mean the ones
like this?
Yeah.
We've taken our cats and scotch taped them to the trees. So the birds have a ball. They can come right down to them.
So you got chickens, cats,
Chicken.
That's kind of really like a working farm. How about a fowl? Birds?
Fowl?
Birds?
Well, we have birds. We have a lot of wildlife. It just flies over.
Yeah. Well, that would happen.
I don't have any wild geese, and I don't shoot. I don't hunt. Yeah. However, if they do come down to feed, but just get them to sleep for a while, And, I don't shoot. And we've had coyotes come down and visit us.
Yeah.
You can usually tell they bite you quickly, and if you say, "Come on over, Bob. Come on, sport. Come on, Carl King." Then this is not a domestic animal.
That's right.
And you see all 56 teeth, But we've got a couple of cats. Got a canary that doesn't sing. It's a bummer, too, because he was $45, and it's just...
Why don't you take him back? I mean, you can get your money back. Did the guy guarantee
Well, I was going to take him back, John. I reached in and enlarged him. Well, there was a telephone call. I couldn't get the telephone call, and so he grew. His eyes just look like this.
But he does not sing.
No, he doesn't sing now.
As long as he's
I think he was going to sing, If I hadn't squeezed him so much, he'd have sung. He just went like that. You squeeze anybody that hard, and they'll either sing or they won't.
Yeah. It probably comes from the Midwest. You were born in...
Yeah, I was
grew
born
up in Ohio.
That's right. You were born in Nebraska.
Nebraska, yeah.
Same thing, shucking corn.
Oh, yeah.
Did you shuck corn when you were a kid?
I sure did.
So did I.
Out there milking the cows.
We used to steal corn at night. I'm not proud of that.
Yeah.
But it was tough during the day. They catch you. We used to get corn on the cob, which is about this time now. It's getting a little dry out there, I guess, all through the Middle West, all over. I fished 3 times. Well, it'll be my 3rd time. I started out fishing in Canada, a place called Separation Lake. Not a good name for a married guy, but for about 300 miles north of Bemidji,
Yeah.
which is the beginning of the Mississippi River. You guys in Bemidji are probably sitting up saying, he mentioned us. Oh, you stiffed me on Wonder Bread. Any rate, no. We went about 300 miles north.
Just to
it was
fish.
97 degrees in Canada, fishing for walleye. Finally, we had to use dynamite again. And,
Tell them that you don't need
no, I'm kidding. We wouldn't dream of that.
That brings them to the surface real quick, doesn't it?
Oh, no, yeah, it does. That's it. And also divers. Anybody's down there looking for a bad car, come right up and, hey, wow.
I gotta take a break here. Gotta say something. Okay, we'll be back to the story of Huckleberry Finn in just a moment, folks. All right, we're back here with Mr. Winters. We were sitting here reminiscing. You do that, don't you? You get to a certain age.
Well, Johnny, I'm coming up on, well, let's see, I had it on me. 63 in November. Now,
We're both the same age.
we're both the same age.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
a couple of elderly kids.
When you were in high school, were you popular?
Well, I thought so. Of course, we all have fantasies early. I was not what you see. I was much thinner, and I thought I was a lot brighter. And when you're thin, you are a lot brighter. Fat crowds the brain. And no, I was thin. I had a 32 waist. I've been working in all kinds of factories in order to get into shape to get into the Marines.
Oh,
And I'd chosen that. I'd seen the post office sign, "We need you," and I believed that, you see. And an elderly man, Uncle Sam, I would have gone for anybody, you know, because I was failing geometry. And Uncle Sam needs you, right? Well,
and you went.
I went in about an hour. War had nothing to do with it. I was not getting along with Dad, and I was failing geometry. So I had to go. I felt the country was, hey, I thought someplace along the line, you know, I could stack overcoats or something like that, or maybe by luck, you know, go through old films. They asked me to be in special, I understood them say special services, the special forces, and we left in the middle of the night. And I said to this officer, which is funny, he's probably listening or he's gone. I said, "Where are we going, Lieutenant?" I was always asking a lieutenant that, you know, first lieutenant, especially because it was silver, it showed up at night. And I'd say, where are you going? And typical, "None of your business. You don't know anything." And of course, it was the beginning of a gigantic inferiority complex, which carried me through the war. "You don't know anything." I'd say, "That's right." So I played crazy, and today I'm a crazy person, but I'm happy.
Now, when you were young in school, you remember your first girl?
Oh,
Crush?
God,
First-
yes.
first-
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
whoa, whoopee.
Boy, my clothes fly off.
Out of the car?
In deference to my wife now.
Yeah,
I
of
mean,
course.
we have to be very
Well,
this
she
was
understands
before
it.
I
It's
was
a long
single
time.
only a few days.
Yeah.
Patty Bottle.
Patty Bottle?
Yeah, Bowdle. They made fun, you know, Patty Bottle, until she matured. And then nobody made fun of Patty anymore.
It's overnight, isn't it? Yeah.
Overnight she matured and dated more guys than I bargained for. You know, when it gets upwards of 20 guys, you know that somewhere along the line she's playing with you, you know, literally started, "I don't care about you that much." So I never went steady because my mother said, "Do not go steady." And of course, my chores cut me out of a lot of sports.
Did you know anything about sex at that age?
Oh, I thought so. I wasn't just a kid looking at cows and horses and that kind of... I was looking at people. And we didn't have such sex education in school, as you know, was frowned on. At that time, in the 30s, people had no time for sex, period. A lot of people in the 30s were just shoveling, you know, and doing this and just getting highways developed. And if you saw a pretty girl in a car, a guy went, and of course they had to hit him with a shovel, you know. At 3 cents a day, you know what the hell. At any rate, no, there were several girls that I was very fond of.
Yeah.
And very excited. I mean, I was an only child, and so a lot of the stuffed animals were taken by bullies. And
How old were you when you had your first
first
sexual experience? No, I don't
well,
know.
that's a very tough subject.
I know it is.
Yeah, well,